These are the sounds of progress. Each year, the sounds of the craftsman's tools for more than 80% of America's building labor force, the open shop construction workers, are silenced by union-only contracts known as project labor agreements on public sector construction projects. To protect the taxpayers from the cost of favoritism and corruption, government contracts have for years been awarded to the lowest responsible bidder regardless of labor affiliation. The focus has always been on open competition, to find the right contractors who can get the job done right at the lowest cost. Open competition among bidders is the best way, perhaps the only way, to protect taxpayers from the misuse of their hard-earned money on government construction projects. But recently there's been a disturbing change. Labor unions have demanded a political handout, preferential treatment which threatens the rights of taxpayers and non-union workers everywhere. The unions are demanding project labor agreements. They want to limit the award of public works projects to companies that agree to force their workers to work under union rules. Some government agencies have given in to these union demands. But it is bad public policy to force contractors to sign union-only agreements. Studies show these union-only agreements are unfair, illegal, and waste taxpayers' money. Union-only contracts violate the basic principles of free market enterprise. They violate the fundamental doctrine of fair and open competition. They discriminate against 80% of the construction industry's workers who are non-union. Union-only contracts dramatically increase the cost of construction services. They do nothing for job site safety or productivity. They reduce job opportunities for minorities, and they have been found to be illegal. Fact: union-only contracts discriminate against and threaten the job opportunities for 4 out of 5 construction workers in the United States who have made the personal choice not to belong to unions. In fact, union-only agreements take business away from these workers and the local communities where open shop contractors are located.
You know, it's real simple. As a merit shop contractor, we're unable to bid on work that has union-only agreements in place, and that really hurts business. And more importantly, our employees who choose not to join a labor union are discriminated against because they can't work on projects with union-only agreements in place.
Union-only contracts do nothing to minimize costs or eliminate wasteful and burdensome requirements, and there is clear evidence that union shops are far less productive than open shops. And despite what big labor says, union-only agreements do not make working conditions safer. In fact, according to OSHA statistics, union contractors have a higher incidence of fatalities and serious accidents. In Roswell Park, New York, the use of union-only contracts on the Roswell Park Cancer Institute construction project was shown to increase the project's cost by 26%. This was the direct result of the reduced number of bidders caused by imposing the union-only contract. Bid packages requiring union-only contracts were 10% over budget, while those not requiring union-only contracts were 13% under budget. But contrast Roswell Park with Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. This renowned facility is a testimony to open competition, as it was built under budget, ahead of time, and without a union-only agreement.
Now look, union-only agreements do nothing to increase efficiency or hold down costs. Quite the opposite, in fact. As any economist will tell you, if you decrease the number of competitors for work, you're going to increase the cost of that work. So if a union-only agreement is in effect, construction is going to cost more.
The highest courts of New York and New Jersey have ruled that union-only agreements illegally deprive taxpayers of the benefits of open competition. One judge wrote that union demands for a union-only agreement in exchange for labor peace smacks of capitulation to extortion.
ABC recommends a public policy of open competition for all construction projects. This kind of a policy, which has served our country well for generations, permits all contractors in a community to bid on projects which are being funded with tax dollars.
So it makes sense for governments to reject union-only requirements and to instead demand open competition for construction projects. It's time to hold our public officials accountable when they waste hard-earned taxpayers' dollars on illegal and ill-advised union-only agreements. Union-only contracts violate the basic principles of free market enterprise. They violate the fundamental doctrine of fair and open competition. They discriminate against 80% of the construction industry's workers who are non-union. Union-only contracts dramatically increase the cost of construction services. They do nothing for job site safety or productivity. They reduce job opportunities for minorities, and they have been found to be illegal. For more information on this subject, contact Associated Builders and Contractors in Washington, D.C. at 703-812-2000.